It is. Hello, everybody, and we're here to look at the Indianapolis Houston. I was going to say Houston Colts. That shows you how long I've been around, since the '60s. Houston Texans. Houston Texans. What do you got on them? -3 right at this time.
With juice flowing.
I tell you what, I don't understand this line. I don't even understand this team. I don't even understand how they can sit there with Brock Osweiler with a $37 million guaranteed contract, and this guy's as bad as anybody I've ever seen. The offensive line, we could go into that, but I'm not going to blame the offensive line, even though it's horrible. We could go that the head coach has had to take over calling the plays. O'Brien, he's now calling everything. But let's look at the worst quarterback in football, rated number 30th in the NFL. He has a 70.6 quarterback rating. He's only throwing for 208 yards per game, which is ranked number 29. He's ranked number 30 in scoring, 31 in yards per play, and I think 4.1, something like that. This guy, how do they get contracts like this? And I'll tell you another thing, they're 3-0. But you would think that the pressure for Brock would be mounting because he's expected to perform for that $37 million contract, and he's taking all kinds of heat down there. But you know what? He's 3-0 at home, so you got to give him a little credit there. Andrew Luck, boy, he should be everybody's favorite. The only thing I wish he would do is when he's getting interviewed, quit blaming himself for holding on to the ball too long. He just doesn't have an offensive line. He's still a top 5 quarterback. He's number 1 in getting sacked again, top 5 in scoring, top 5 in passing, top 5 in touchdowns. He's going to always keep you in the game, and I'm going to go with that theory this week. Taking +3 points. In Indianapolis, you've got 2 ways to win. They can win straight up, or they can win on the field with the points. 3 points is a lot of points, and this guy will always keep you in. This guy's got a lot of heart, and they're 2-3. I don't see them as a 2-4 team. This is a critical game to go to 3-3. It's not going to take much to win this division, so they don't want to get too far behind. But I see them really putting it together for this week.
Yeah, this has been the theme of the shows this week, is talking about line value. Let's talk about this Houston Texans team. Line value Thursday night against Jacoby Brissett. Seemed like it was there. Didn't happen. Line value against the hot Minnesota Vikings team, getting a touchdown. Seemed like it was there. Didn't happen. Now you're playing a division rival after those 2 sloppy performances. You looked out of sync on the road. It happens. Or you're playing an Indianapolis Colts team that maybe is probably overrated versus their record, but they keep playing these close games. And that's where the perception of line value seems to be on the Colts. They played a close game against the San Diego Chargers, pulled that out. Played a close game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, lost. Played a close game against the Chicago Bears, lost. Go back to the earlier games this season. They pulled out a win. I can't even remember week 1. I don't remember off the top of my head, but the team stays in games. Houston, on the other hand, it just seemed lost last week. Offensively, Brock Osweiler couldn't complete pass, but they never established the run. They got down 14-0. And that's just not the scenario you want to have on the road. They never could recover. So you got to throw out that script. We talked about that a lot. You throw out the script and you move on. And I think they can do that. Adjust to Sunday night football. And this Colts team, I was thinking about this Houston Texans team. We talked about them a lot in the last 3 or 4 years doing these shows. And you remember when Matt Schaub was going through this problem, it all seemed like he would get out of it. He had all those good games. He had that track record with Houston. And that Sunday night game, I'll never forget it, against San Francisco 49ers, when everybody thought that was the game he was going to get out of it, and they got blown out, and all of a sudden, you can't keep that in-house anymore. You got to make a decision. I think right now you're in that era. You've been talking about Chuck Pagano, and Andrew Luck for how many years now? And that bowling ball is ready to crush into those pins right now. I think it's going to happen this weekend against the Houston Texans. You just can't get away with that formula over and over and over and over again in the NFL. And I think Houston, with that divisional script, will have enough to keep Brock Osweiler comfortable. And Brian Hoyer has been comfortable. Phillip Rivers has been comfortable. All these quarterbacks have been comfortable against the Colts. And getting Blake Bortles has been comfortable. Why can't Brock Osweiler be comfortable at home in that defense. Andrew Luck, 1 to 2 turnovers. The script is there. I think we'll take the Texans.
Well, you've heard it from Zack. I tell you what, I'm still going to be pushing for Andrew Luck. You know what? As long as he's there, he's got heart. He can do it all, and he's shown that he's been doing it all.
Let me ask you this: so they lose. We're on the clock here, but if they lose in poor fashion, what do you think is happening in Indianapolis?
Well, no, I don't think Indianapolis is going anywhere. I don't like any part about it. I just like Andrew Luck and the way he keeps doing it and doing it and
No,
doing
if they lose in poor fashion, what would you say needs to happen for the Colts?
Well, there's nothing's going to be happening this year, but I think they got to get rid of the coach, and they should have done that, quite a while ago. And they just got to rebuild their entire team. They had a franchise quarterback that they're going to probably get 50% out of because he's just getting banged up and hit year after year after year. You can't lead the league in sacks year after year getting sacked and then get up and calmly say it was your fault for sitting there saying you held onto the ball too long. It's clearly the offensive line, and it's clearly the GM who's putting these where they're spending their money and allocating their cash. You got to have an offensive line, and you got to have a defense to win championships. Right now, all they have is a quarterback. So, they got to revamp everything. And can they do it before Andrew Luck's career's up? Who knows? So we'll have to see. Anyway, thanks for everybody for viewing this, and make sure you go to the website or give me a holler at the email address there on your screen.